Hello, welcome to this tutorial. Today we are going to look at pointers in Go. In Go, pointers are variables that store the memory address of another variable. So you think of it like this. A variable holds a value and a pointer holds the location of that value in memory. Clear? Let's go straight into our code and see how it works. We have our main.go file. We have our package main. Then let's declare our main function over here. Good. Now let's declare a variable x and say it is an integer 42. Good. All right. Good. So we will say this is a normal integer variable. Great. Now let's look at a pointer. We will declare a pointer p, and this is how we declare it. You bring your ampersand, then you attach the x to it. Exactly. Good. So we will say that this is p is a pointer to the x variable that we have declared. Now let's print on the console to see. Exactly. So we are going to print the value of the x, and we will again print the memory address of the x, which is the p where we have located it. Good. So we will do our format package and print line. Great. Then we will declare the value for the x. So let's import our package over here. Good. We've imported it now. Good. Now let's print the memory address of the x, which is the p that we have initialized and declared also over there. So the memory address of the p. Okay, good. That is that. Now let's look at it on the console. Exactly. So we see it over here. The value of the x which we declared, which a normal integer we declared, 42, and the memory address that we declared over here, the p, which is 0xc. So that is where that is exactly where the memory address of that variable 42 is located. Exactly. Now we are going to look at dereferencing a pointer. So when you talk about dereferencing a pointer, we mean accessing the value stored at the memory address a pointer is pointing to. So we are going to access the value via the pointer pointing to the memory address of the variable x. So this is how we do. We will use asterisk then the p to get the value. So let's look at it. This is how it will, when we are getting the value. So let's bring our format print line. Okay, good, like this. So we see the value that we are getting via the pointer. So this means that we are trying to get the value of the variable through the pointer, not directly calling the x variable, but we are getting the p stores the memory address, and we are trying to access the value over there that has been stored over there. Exactly. Let's look at that. That is it. You see it over here. So the value via the pointer p is the same, 42, and the value of the x is 42. So here we access the value through the pointer. Good. Now this means that we can actually update the value of the variable through the pointer. So this is how it will look like. So if we want to update the value, we will do asterisk then the p, then we will say that it is now equal to, let's say, 100. So it is not equal to the 42 again. So this is actually trying to change the value of x through the pointer over here. Good. So that is it. So we have actually updated the value. So the value of x is no longer 42. We've now updated it to 100. Let's look at that on the console also Good. So the updated value, let's print the updated value to see what we are returning. Let's comment this out and let's look at how it has been updated. Now we see it over here. The updated value of x is now 100. Good. So basically, pointers also allow you to modify a variable without directly passing it around, and which is super useful for functions and memory efficient code. Now, why do we use pointers in Go in the first place? So why bother with pointers? Now, for number one, for efficient memory usage. Parsing large structs or arrays by value means Go copies all the data. Using pointers lets you pass the memory address instead, and that is much faster. And you can also see that if you want to mutate data inside a function, so by default, Go passes arguments by value, and which means that a copy is made. And if you want a function to modify a variable's value, you need to pass a pointer, which makes it much faster and simpler. Now let's look at how that one works. So let's clean this up from here. Okay, good. And let's introduce a function called increment. So let's bring that one here, increment. Okay, and this function is actually going to take a parameter called num, which will be an integer. So let's say num, which will be an integer. Good. Now, so inside it, we will say num is equal to num plus 1. Now you have to, okay, so now let me take it one after the other. Good. Let's clean this one up also from here. Good. Now, what you have to know is that if you want to change the value or we want to use it in a function, now in our main function over here, since we have declared x to be 42, now we can call this function over here increment over here. Then inside it is taking a parameter called num. But because we are passing the pointer of the variable inside the function over here, we will do the ampersand then the x. Now, because we are passing the pointer of the variable x into the function increment, we will bring asterisk over here at the integer, before the integer, then inside it, the num will take the pointer asterisk, then we also declare it over here as that it is asterisk. Good. Now, good. Now let's print it on the console to see. Now let's clean this up here and print the incremented value of x. Good. So now format print line. Good. Then the incremented value of the x. Now let's see what the value of x will be printed for us. Now we see it over here. Incremented value is now 43 because we declared it to be 42. So we passed the pointer inside, and when it went, it added 1 to it. Good. Now the value is now 43. So you see, without the pointer, x would remain unchanged because the function would only receive a copy of it. But with the pointer, we can actually go in there and change the value of the x and operate with it. Now let's level up and use pointers with structs. So let's clean up our main function over here. Good. Let's clean up our increment function over here and let's declare our struct over here as a person with the name and the age. Good. So now in our main function over here, we will declare a variable p and we will create an instance of the person struct over here to it. So it will be like this. Okay, so p, then we will instantiate the struct over here and we'll give the name John and the age to as 30. Good. Now we will create our pointer and we will name our pointer ptr and we will now point it to the variable that we have declared p, which is an instance of the person struct that we have created. Good. Now let's print the name of the person P that we have declared over here. Now we are going to print the name of the variable P, which is an instance of the person struct over here, but we are going to do it through the pointer which you have declared over here. So this is how it's going to do. So we'll print only the name. We will have it here. So as the name, then we'll do the ptr dot the name, and doing the printing the h2 like that, we will get it as this age. In that same sense, if we print it on our console, we end up getting the same thing. Thank you very much for watching this video tutorial. Please, if you like this video, like, subscribe to our channel, and comment in the comment section if you have any question or you want any understanding in any topic. Thank you very much.